The kind of rumor merry-go-round has kind of started on the managerial search. Initially, they're talking about Areola's going to be the favourite. Now they've kind of seemingly pivoted to Xabi Alonso. It's interesting, isn't it? Because for me, I'm thinking from Xabi Alonso's point of view, I'm thinking, if you're as smart as I think you are, then why on earth would you be entertaining this option? Because you know exactly how it goes around here and you've seen the previous managers before you. But it seems like there's, no smoke without fire, but there seems like there's something.
Yeah, it also seems like you're as cynical as I am, because I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't see. Do you know what I feel like this does? I think sometimes just being linked is great for speculation. It's great speculation for certain people. So, for example, Chelsea, there is unrest in the support base. There is a protest planned for the FA Cup final. The fans are not happy with the ownership. The way that the ownership could get the fans back on side is by being linked with a former Real Madrid manager, somebody who has taken Leverkusen to the title, somebody who we know has a serious foothold in the game. So it's in Chelsea's interest to be linked with a seemingly not necessarily yet top tier, but a potentially top tier appointment, rather than Gary O'Neill, Liam Rosenior, that sort of list. So I think it's in Chelsea's interest to be linked with Alonso, and I also think it's in Alonso's interest to be linked with Chelsea, because he's trying to force his own agenda. He's trying to force his own move at the epicenter of this link. What do you think?
Of course. Yeah, no, absolutely. There's loads to be gained for Chelsea hierarchy to link us to Xabi Alonso before the protest, try and again bring the numbers down, or try and, dampen the spirits as they did on the last protest as well. They were putting out Caicedo's new contract. They were putting out quotes from Cole Palmer. This is all not just a coincidence. This is prepped and planned, in my opinion, because that's all we've seen is very much purposeful kind of reporting and briefing. Then when the season's over, everybody goes on their holidays, everybody's thinking about the World Cup, and everything around Stamford Bridge is awfully quiet. That's when they can go and get exactly who they want to get, or who they can attain. So for me, I don't believe it until I see it with this club at this point, because I've seen us linked with so many players. Or we could have got, Barcola, we could have got Osimhen, or we could have got this, we could have got that. And it never actually materializes for whatever reason. So if they do get Xabi Alonso, I'll be very impressed, because I think he's kind of like the top shelf level of
that we can get.
That we can attain in our current predicament. It couldn't be any worse for us in our recent history. And to get someone like that, who's ambitious, who's got a voice, who's got some sort of reputation to protect, that's all you can ask for at this point. Somebody that's not treating this like an incredible opportunity. If anything, it's the other way around. So yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like, if you think about the experience of Xabi Alonso, he's a player who played at the very, very top. He played for Liverpool, he played for Real Madrid, he played for Bayern Munich. So he's played at the very top. And then you look at what he did at international level. He won a World Cup, he won the 2 Euros, he was part of arguably the greatest international team that has ever been assembled. He's worked for some of the greatest managers that have ever stepped foot in the game. So having somebody like Xabi Alonso, in terms of the experience that he would bring, and he's obviously sat in the Real Madrid dugout, he's won trophies in Germany. This would be a great appointment for us, but it just doesn't chime with what I know Blueco to be. And if we think about what he would have to work in, if you think about the parameters that the Chelsea manager has to operate, I just don't think a manager like Xabi Alonso would work within these boundaries, would have the infringement from above having an impact on his team selection, for example. He's not going to do that.
Yeah. And this is the thing. This is why I don't get it from his point of view, if it was to materialize, because it's like, you're a promising young manager. You don't want your reputation to be tarnished with these parameters and these boundaries that are set in place before you even arrive. And I feel like as a young manager, you need to establish, first of all, respect within the dressing room, which I think his playing career, like you just said, automatically does that. Then his managerial spell at Leverkusen automatically does that. But if you start getting the hierarchy or the directors, they're walking into change rooms after games, I think without even necessarily them saying a word, I think it starts to diminish your importance or your level of power in that dressing room, even if they don't say a word. Just the fact that they even walk into that space and try and they have a presence. It's absolutely impossible. You hear all the stories of Roman Abramovich when he used to land at Cobham in the helicopter. His presence, his aura almost, people understood, oh, something's gone wrong, something's happening, someone's getting sacked. I don't